So we're grabbing. La,
us.
la, la. Oh, hey!
Hey, everybody. This week on the Pocket Dimension Live, we're getting into DC20 Ancestries and DC20 GM Tips. Punch it, AK.
Everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to
Power to the People.
Pocket Dimension Live. This is a show where four friends, that's us, we talk about things, usually TTRPG related. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Buckle your nerd suit on to your body, and we're about to talk nerdy. So, welcome. Oh, Matt's leaving. So
Matt didn't want to be nerdy with us.
Immediately
he's not. He was not buckled in. He got ejected.
So long, Matt. It was fun.
I'm Evan.
I'm Allison.
That's Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm Fitz.
It's ring. Matt's not here to do the sound.
I know. We'll just have to do it on your behalf. Ring.
Yeah, and Matt, we just fired him. So that was Matt. You saw him for a second. He's now gone.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's why we were late. We had to discuss with the lawyers.
Oh, my God. Wow, this took a dark turn out of the gate, you guys.
Yeah.
It's called Yes and.
Okay, who do we have in chat? We have our Paladin, Tabletop Phoenix, who says it's Nugget time. We have one of our newest friends, and I'm going to absolutely murder the pronunciation of your name, and I need you to give me the phonetic spelling like you did for Coach. It's Debelzian. I remember you putting like emphasis on the last syllable. Welcome. I'm glad that you have joined us, a brand new friend. Whoever else is here, drop into comments, tippity tap, tell us who you are, where you are, why the heck you're paying attention to us for, chuckleheads. Hey, look, Matt's back.
I'm back. I'm Matt.
Hey.
I'm Matt, everybody.
Very good.
Damn it.
He even stole my jingle.
Damn it.
Oh, man.
No, I was late. That's why I was.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
I feel like very Mickey Mouse Club about like, hi, I'm Allison.
I'm Allison. I'm Matt.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Sarah Mobley says yum. Yum, yeah. Sarah. I don't know what we're yumming, but we're yumming.
Yum.
She's a cannibal.
Yes.
And she wants to eat our human bodies.
And proud of it.
I'm terribly excited because tomorrow I am having a marathon day of one-shots with our patrons, and I get to play with both Sarah Mobley for the first time ever and Tabletop Phoenix for the first time ever.
Oh, boom,
yes,
boom, boom.
yes.
And
Who's in the one with Evan and I?
You guys, so Matt gets Sarah in the evening session. You guys get Tabletop Phoenix.
Sweet.
Along with our friend Dr. Jenna Cohen. Our good friend Drummer Bard, if you're here, Michelle. Michelle is playing in the evening session, so Matt will get to play. Okay. Although I think Michelle had told us that their work schedule changed, so we will miss you here on TPDL. But if you're watching later, hi.
Hi.
We're excited to play with you tomorrow. That doesn't sound creepy at all.
I'm sad that I will actually be not in the session with Michelle because Michelle is an amazing player.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Real good.
Matt, enjoy.
Yes. Cannot wait.
Oh, Cozy Cassie's also playing tomorrow in the afternoon session. Hey, Cozy Cassie.
Hey,
Cozy. Yeah, we're excited. It's super fun to get to play. That was like our mission when we started all of this, was like, how can we just play more tabletop role-playing games?
It's on my whiteboard, my mood board, my dream circle.
Dream circle.
It's in your dream catcher.
My dream it's in my dream catcher.
You know, I just constantly feel like Adam Driver as Kylo Ren.
Why?
Just more. I want more.
More. Let's see if I can trick. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. You did it. You did it.
You guys are getting cool effects now, and I can't do it.
I know.
can't.
They're hit or miss.
Yeah.
They're hit or miss. We'll get there. Technology.
I don't know. I can still throw the goat, though.
Throw
Yeah.
the goat.
Throw the
For the
goat.
goat.
Well, I'll tell you
Let's
guys
see, that
what's
was over.
not
There we go.
yummy.
Please.
What's yummy? Not yummy.
Not yummy.
There was a recall of Dino Nuggies
Yes, there was.
this week.
Uh-oh.
In Nugget news.
Nugget.
This week on Nugget News, Tyson had to recall, 30,000 dinosaur
Dino
nuggies because there were metal shards in them. And because of course, I researched, I found out this is not the first time that Tyson has had a recall of, it wasn't Dino Nuggies last time. Last time it was Tendies. But both times have
what?
been because people found metal
Tendies?
shards. Tendies. Chicken tendies.
Chicken tendies. Nuggies and tendies.
I've never heard of Tindies.
Oh yeah.
Tinder.
I've got some friends who like almost exclusively eat chicken tendies. Like we'll go out to like a nice restaurant. They'll be like, I'll get the tendies, and I'm just like,
my God.
Your heart.
yeah.
So Fitz, did you have to take the nuggies out of your freezer and mail them back?
Well, I don't. I haven't paid Tyson any dollars since approximately 2003. So
Yeah.
no, I did not have to throw out my Dino Nuggies from the freezer, thankfully.
You refused to throw them out, is what you mean, because you didn't pay for them, but you still had some. Don't lie.
There you go.
I don't. I need to, you know what? Maybe I need to figure out how to make my own. I'll make tofu nuggies. I'll make tofu dino nuggies.
To fucking nuggies. Yeah.
To fugni.
We're battling a tofurkin, a tofuckin, turducken. It's going to be great. I have a very serious question that this is since we've talked a lot about nuggies lately, and last week we've talked about hot sauce and condiments. We've learned that my scion Benny is obsessed with aioli. What is you only get to choose one, no ties, and everybody in chat tell me too. What you get one nuggie or fake chicken condiment for the rest of your life. What is it, and why is the right answer honey mustard? What do y'all think? Yeah.
I'm with AK on that.
Yeah.
What?
100% honey mustard.
Yeah, it's honey mustard.
Nar.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mortal Bane's here for the nuggies as well. Poor people, like, just showing up to this are like, what, why? But we love nuggies. Okay, so Mortal Bane's got sweet and sour. Yeah.
I think I can
Ooh,
choose.
You have to. 1, 2, 3, go.
There's.
I mean, it's gotta be a hot
Chipotle.
sauce.
Sarah
like a
Motley
Chipotle.
says
Yes,
salsa.
Nah.
Yeah, like a Chipotle
Creamy
ranch.
sauce.
Yeah, that would salsa on nuggies. My world is garlic aioli is a hell yes for me.
That's it. That's
There's
the one.
like a truffle Chipotle thing
Ooh.
that
Oh,
I
come on,
did
yes.
impulse buy not that long ago. That is
Those are
incredible.
two bold flavors to be combined,
yeah.
right?
I know, but it's
Bold
good.
flavors. Wrong.
I'm not
It's
gonna
good though.
hold
It's
that.
good
I did mean to eat lunch before this, and I failed, and now I've.
every time.
All right, I really appreciate. So we've got salsa on nuggies, Cozy Cast likes honey mustard, and also Frank's.
Yes.
I'm with the garlic aioli. I might be willing to switch my honey mustard to a garlic aioli.
Let's try to get on the same page.
Oh,
No, I mean unified love
No.
for aioli because it's a theme, right?
it's true. Here's the thing, though. Like, if we are all bound to one nuggie condiment for the rest of our lives, and we each choose different ones, then technically we would actually get 4. So it's in our best interest
To have
Oh
4
my
different
gosh.
ones.
to diversify the portfolio of nuggie sauce.
TTP, we gotta talk about hot ones, man. That's my jam right there. That show is magnificent.
I still have never seen it.
You gotta get on the
know.
hot ones. That guy is the best interviewer in the universe. He
Oh
is
my
so
god. He has
good.
such really, really amazing questions
He really does.
around the chaos that is eating incredibly hot sauce.
Yeah. He's
Better than Terry Gross? Better than Jon Stewart?
definitely better than Jon Stewart
Yeah.
because
Yeah, he's
he
up there.
listens. Jon Stewart will cut you off. I like Jon Stewart, but he's more
I think
intense.
you're thinking Colbert.
No.
Colbert will cut you off.
Well, at least not in the new Jon Stewart show. But
I haven't seen it.
Fitz, what's his name? What's the interviewer of Hot One's name?
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Mr. One?
Yes, the hottest one. Mr. One. Anyway, yeah.
But listen,
the Gordon
hot
Ramsay one is
sauces
so good.
and nuggies are great and all, but Let's talk about
Let's talk about what we keep
games
talking
and
about.
stuff.
Games. Okay.
Sean Evans. It's Sean Evans.
Sean Evans.
I don't know how I
Thank
could
you.
have forgotten that.
Thank
Is
you.
he an SEAN or an SHAW?
The only way to spell it,
AU?
which is SEAN.
Okay.
Good.
All right. We're opinionated here.
SHAUN.
I know
is
it.
also allowed.
Yeah, I know a Sean. AU. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have had this great Nuggy interlude, if you're just tuning in, please tell us your favorite Nuggy condiment. It's important for us to know these things.
It really is.
We thought we would try a fun little game today. So our question for y'all watching, those of you who are tabletop role-playing gamers or are about to become them because you're friends with us and we're going to make you, our question is, what kind of like warm-up and improv games do you play? Because this is something we'd like to start adding to our stable. The thing with tabletop role-playing games is it's a very important listening exercise. You can't come in having decided like all of the things that your character is going to do because you're surrounded by the free will of other characters and the NPCs and whatever else your game master wants to throw your way. So because we all love each other but have lots of big ideas and lots of things we want to talk about always, we thought it would be fun to start to play some of these like improv-y listening games here on the Pocket Dimension Live, see how it goes. Maybe get y'all to weigh in with some topics. So there's my first question. Do any of y'all play any kind of improv or warm-up game? If so, tell us what they are. We're interested in hearing about it. And now we're going to try one of our first ones. And Matt, who is our own personal improv master, is going to lead us triumphantly into the charge.
I'm going to lead you into the charge, but
Before we go into the charge, I want to ask you about some things, brother.
Oh, sure.
So I think Matt actually spent a lot of time. He lives in Chicago, and he's been taking a lot of improv classes. You were in an improv group for a while in Chicago, and so you have a lot of experience. It's not necessarily you didn't aspire to be an improv comedian, but you when we moved to Chicago, you missed performing, and so you did all that.
Yeah.
So I got curious about this when. As we were playing just our home games, and then we started doing this stuff, and I just started asking myself more and more. It's like, okay, how do I stop interrupting people? How do I stop speaking over people? And I started to think of, okay, who out there does that? I mean, if you're an actor, you have lines, right? So you're waiting for your cue. It's not a problem for you. You know what you're going to say and when you're going to say it. But improv artists, I suppose, comedians especially, that's the whole name of the game. It's listening. So how do they train you? Because when you see really any improv group, good or bad, they're at least pretty good at not talking over each other, even if it's not funny.
Right.
When you see people who are really amazing at it, it's like magic.
Yeah.
Right? It's just totally magical. So before we jump into a game, just start off by telling us a little bit about how they get you, how improv instructors get you to listen and not try to jump in there with your idea before someone's even finished saying what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, first off, I have to start off by saying we have an actual professional improviser in the chat right now.
Sarah
Our
Mobley.
friend Sarah Mobley.
Shizzles.
Her life is an improv warm-up. She is... I am not qualified to speak nearly as well as Sarah is. She has an incredible thing called Improvise Jane Austen, probably among other things.
Nice.
But it is an enormous hit here in Chicago. So I'm going to preface all of my year and a half's worth of knowledge and training in improv with someone who has been doing it for 15, 16, 20 years, whatever. Anyway, so please correct me, Sarah, if I fall off the rails. But basically, I will say that, ironically, there are more rules to improv than there are theater and acting. It seemed to me, and it's because of what you were saying, and by rules, it's kind of identical to D&D and a game. The rules are around you. They are the framework. They are the things that you can lean into, and then when you get on stage, there is no net in a lot of ways, but the rules become part of your net, and little things like, yes, and. always, yes, and because, you know, when you're talking person to person with your friends, with your neighbors, when you're uncomfortable towards anything, people do tend to say no but, right? No but is an easy reaction. Also, anger is an incredibly easy reaction.
Do you mean as a performance tool,
No.
like you're in a scene, or just like in life?
Well, I'm saying in IRL, these are things that if human beings are uncomfortable, a little bit uncomfortable, no but is an easy thing. Anger is an easy thing to tap into. It's very understandable.
Okay.
It's the quickest kind of reaction. So what improv does is it kind of strips you away from those steps, right? And Sarah just had a great quote. After I played my first D&D game, it was like, damn, this is an improv party. And it really truly is. Like, I wrote down some notes, and my notes were, I think that anybody who plays a TTRPG should go out and take an improv class. I don't care if you want to be in an improv, barprov team, but and I don't even really care if your teacher is good or bad, because I had both in my time at the prestigious IO improv school. But no matter what, you're going to take a lot of learning away. And because there are these amazing rules, yes, and don't go into don't choose anger first. The yes and is so big because it really forces you to say, no matter what your friend says on stage, no matter what they say, your brain has to wrap around their reality, because you are creating this reality together.
Yes.
And so by saying yes to whatever they say and try to make sense of it, yes, it is a real life listening training, period. I think dipping in, here's a topic, aka improv and ADHD. I'm writing it down.
I'm not.
For our podcast, ADHD 20. Because it is, I think that my own ADHD was so heavily impacted by two things. One, my wife who's deaf. Two, taking this improv class. My ability to listen is just, you can't not when you're doing improv. And that's the main thing, Biv, is you will look like an idiot on stage if you are not listening nonstop.
Right.
And I would say that is more so than theater, which you shouldn't be, but it is kind of easier to get away with not listening on stage when you have a script in mind. When you're thinking about what you're actually going to say, or how you can get back into something. But with improv, you've just got to know what's happening around you, and so you have no choice but to listen. And so there's so many tools, and like you said, so many games that are surrounding that, and it's a big topic. You know, we should absolutely have Sarah on.
Yes.
And have her like talk about this in depth, because people are afraid of improv because there's so much bad improv, I think.
Yeah.
And it does get a terrible rap, and it shouldn't, because I really think that taking an improv class is a life training class, you know, and that's why there are people. I'm sure Sarah's done one or two, or she said it right there. Life is improv, right? Like.
Yeah.
There are people like our friend Greg that made a living going to corporate seminars and giving people a class, because it's perfect for Zoom, it's perfect for remote work, it's perfect for everything. But because there's so much bad, people go to see an improv, and even the best people can have tough times, you know, even the best people on stage. It's not always 100% perfect every single moment, but man, when it is good, it is like magic. It's magic. And
okay, so I get the why, I get all of that stuff, but let's what I'm interested in is the how. How do they get you to listen better? How can we as a group, as our own D&D party, and as, you know, hosts on this show, how do we start to learn to listen to each other?
Yeah, well, I will preface it by saying playing virtually is much harder because you're not just dealing with the listening, which is difficult enough, but you have the distractions of not being together in a spot. You have the latency of Zoom. You have everybody's internet being good or bad. So that is difficult, period. But in classes, there were just a ton of what they call games. I mean, there are entire schools of improv, entire like theaters that really only do what they call short form and games. Like that is their improv. Like Theater 99 in Charleston has a ton of like game improv where you take these games that you learn in class and you bring them on stage and you play them live because it's still improvising. It's still that, but it is you're seeing that structure. So, for example, I brought one today called Alphabet. An alphabet, in my mind, as it applies to D&D, TTRPGs would be a really great tool to get to be in the moment and also knowing your stuff. Another very important thing about improv is to relate it to current events, like really use your intelligence. So the best improvisers are people that do, they follow current events, they follow, things. They're voracious readers. They know, what is going on in the world, and they can speak to it very easily and confidently. But Alphabet is fun because it's very, very simple. It's just you have a turn order, so you have like a little group in a circle, and each person in that order has to just one word speak the consecutive letter of the alphabet. So A, B, C, D, and so on. And the reason that is important is there's a little bit of a timer going on too. So there's like a 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever you choose. And so Alphabet is really good because you are having to listen to the person with the letter before you, number one. Number two, you have to also think about the word that is coming up that you're going to say. So we can try it if you like. Little alphabet.
You can't know.
You can't.
Wait, so the rule is, so if someone says a word that starts with A, then you are going to say the word that starts with B? Or do you have to say...
C, D, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
it's round. So you could count ahead, like if we were going in the order of the screen, clockwise.
But in that instance, I don't have to listen to Al. I mean, I guess so. You need to, as long as you know which letter you are, then you don't really need to know.
Yeah, I think you'll see. It's like, and again, Sarah could definitely explain this better, but like if you think of it as telling a story, apple, banana, carrot, dog, right? Like that's you
weird
want
salad,
to have
bro.
phrasing. What?
It's a weird salad, bro.
Weird salad, bro. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And also improv, you break it down to these little pieces because if your team can be kick-ass at alphabet, something like that, then you're going to tap into the part of your brain that thinks creatively, uses your vocabulary, doesn't default to the same words, doesn't, especially as a GM, I would imagine if you focused alphabet to be something like words that described the sound of what a sword would do when it, I mean, that's a little bit too niche, but you know what I'm saying. So I think it is very, very good. I think they're all good for listening. Sarah says,
let's try it.
Yeah, it makes the presenter chunk information down as well as the other person listening. Yeah. So
that was a follow-up to what she had said about say back what the person says to you before adding your response.
Oh, yes. Oh, so that's true. That's true. That's right. I forgot about that part. Thank you. Yeah. The next person, yes, that's a really good listening part of it, right? So you can add that element to it. That's a better example. So let's do this, but let's only do D&D words, right? So the way this is going to work is, how do you want to do? Do you want to do me Allison, Evan, and Fitz.
Fitz, yeah, we'll do the clockways.
So we're gonna start with D&D words, going through the alphabet. I'm gonna start with Aarakocra, and then Allison's going to repeat that A, and then come up with a B.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So that's gonna pinpoint specifically what you're asking for too, Biff.
The listening part. Got it. Okay, yeah. So Aarakocra, bugbear.
Bugbear, chimera.
Do you have to say Aarakocra, bugbear, chimera?
Oh, you could also do that. You could also do that.
I thought we were going way back with.
We could go. Let's start simpler. Let's start.
Yeah,
simpler.
Let's start. Let's start
easy
with
mode,
ourselves
please.
here. Come on. Yeah. It's already hard just with D&D words. Everybody,
that is a version of it. I like that version
pump the
too.
brakes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, let's start again. Aarakocra.
Bugbear.
No, you say Aarakocra, bugbear.
Aarakocra. See, I'm already forgetting. I'll be good at this in a minute. Aarakocra, bugbear.
Bugbear, chimera.
Chimera, dragon.
Dragon, elefante. See, I would be killed at that point. I would be, there's the buzzer because I didn't come up with
Druids
like a
can
specific
wild
D&D
shape
word.
into elephants.
There you go. Elephants.
Elephant, firebolt.
Firebolt, Goliath.
Ooh.
Goliath, healing hands.
Healing hands. Invisibility.
Invisibility. Dang it. I went to kinetic jaunt, but I have to do the J.
Yeah.
Jester.
Ooh, good one. Jester, power word kill.
I can't do kinetic jaunt. You
But
can't.
yeah, I mean, so do you see how
Yes.
immediately it's more than you thought it was, Biff? Like
Yeah.
But it's one thing. This is, I feel like, is still a layer harder. Like if we were just could choose from any words in our lexicon, then I imagine you could get a quicker flow to it. But limiting it to this small world, it's fun, but it's like it's actually makes it harder for me to listen to what AK is about to say when I'm thinking, what in the hell is a K word in D&D?
That's
there
the
you go.
point.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So,
That's
so
what
it's
you
not
asked.
so much just listening; it's listening and thinking at the
Yes.
same simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skill.
Welcome to the world of improvisational
Exactly.
comedy. Yeah,
You,
that's
you
it.
gotta you gotta train that muscle. You know, we gotta train our
Kinku.
brains.
Kinku, Ifriti.
There you go.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Of course,
Bane.
of course,
Look at
Mortal Bane is good at this. Of course you are.
Thank you.
No,
Good
no.
Oh, but seriously, let's get Sarah on here.
Yeah.
And Zoom specific games, or maybe she can come over to this office, and that would be a killer Friday
I would
afternoon.
love it. I would love it.
And again, like I say, go out, support your local improv group, theater.
Yeah.
You know, support them by taking a class, because there's somebody in your town, I guarantee. Because if it's one in the small, like Charleston, South Carolina, a great one. If there's one there, there's one in everybody's town. Go support them, because that is a massive nerd that wants to share their passion with you. So go and support them. It's fun. If you don't take it seriously, meaning like if you don't, like the problem with IO here for me was everybody wanted to be on SNL, every human being. And so it's a little more stressful because there are stakes, but.
That's why I did one round of classes in New York and stopped, because
Great.
everybody wanted to be the next SNL star.
Well, you know, they say to do one thing every day that scares you. And so now that we've done that, because my anxiety is crippling.
You killed it though, Fitz.
Yeah.
I knew you would.
I had to do one.
Why would
yes. And I got
Would you
the
do
D.
that
was
every
the easy
time
one.
we play D&D though?
I know, you do.
Why would that? You have no problem jumping into character and making stuff up all the time. Why did that? I'm just curious, and not to.
Let's put
spend all our
Fitz
time
on the
this,
spot.
but-
Oh, God. I was trying to segue us into the nerd passion that is DC20.
Let's go.
Okay.
But instead, you're wishing to psychoanalyze me?
Listen, okay, well, before we move on, one quick plug. Matt mentioned in passing someone named Greg. His name is Greg Hess. He and his wife are were kind of the stars of the Chicago improv scene. They now have they live in LA, and they have a podcast called Mega, the podcast, and it is hilarious. If you haven't heard of it, go check it out. If you're in the Nashville area, they have a live show on November 12th this weekend. Definitely go see them. It is a fictional podcast about a mega church, and it is ridiculous. It's
so
amazing.
funny.
So,
And then
anyways.
improvise Jane Austen in Chicago. I'm going to.
What's
We're
the
gonna
one?
ask Sarah when that's happening.
Yeah, our friend Megan, and I think you've gone with her, Fitz, does one in New York City where it's movies from memory.
It's
so the whole.
it's called Entirely from Memory. It is incredible. Everybody who is going to do the show on whatever night can only watch whatever movie they're recreating once in the week leading up to the show, and then when they're there, they draw which character from the movie that they're going to play. So they don't know who they're going to play. And then they just show up and they go. And it is incredible. I've seen them do Jaws twice. Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Their Dirty Dancing is better than the original. Or the one.
It's not that hard.
It's so good. I
What?
watched.
Wow.
I mean,
Sorry.
Dirty
Massive.
Dancing is a great film. You get
so
demerits.
Entirely from Memory. Go
Memory.
see it.
Oh,
I was trying to use the last word of what you said to say something next to show you that I was listening. Fitz, take us away.
Take us
into
in.
the DC20 topic.
Thank you.
today.
I will happily segue us to avoid any more trauma. I'm actually sweating.
Oh no. Oh no.
Poor Fitz. Sorry.
We're gonna practice though, Fitz. It's gonna be
It's so
fun.
hard.
You're gonna enjoy it,
Let-
Somebody,
You know what?
I send some chicky nuggies over to Fitz's house.
but not with metal.
Vegan. Yeah.
Plant nuggies.
Plant-based, metal-free nuggies for Fitz. And what was yours? A nice Chipotle aioli would be.
Yeah, Chipotle. So, yeah. All right. We're
We
moving.
really
on.
just. Yeah.
I love it.
We're going into a separate nerd passion, which is DC20.
Yay!
And I mean, there's so many things we could dig into every aspect of this, and because it's an ever-changing alpha, there's always going to be something new to talk about. Well, this week we are ahead of the curve, shall we say, because technically Ancestries are not out. But we have a sneak peek.
We love you, Coach.
I know we should have asked permission, but instead we're going to ask for forgiveness for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, goodness.
Oh no.
no, it's
Dun,
okay.
dun,
He gave us
dun.
these to play
Yeah, I'm
in the
joking.
one shot, so I assume that it is fine to talk
Speaking
about
of,
them. Hey,
he's here. Coach, we hope this next segment's okay.
yep. Do not eat. Okay, you're eating with your boys. Make sure it's not Dino Nuggies.
Yeah.
If it is Tyson's Dino Nuggies, throw it in the trash immediately.
Right now.
All right. Anyways, so Ancestries are going to be how races are handled in DC20, and what's going to be extra special about them, because in D&D, right, you choose half elf, bugbear, and you're just prescribed a bunch of features and traits that go along with that category, right? If you are a tiefling, you probably get resistance to fire damage, I think. You can choose exactly which tiefling you are. Some of them can fly a little bit. Some of them get a couple extra spells. But, Wizards of the Coast is telling you, okay, you've picked this race. These are the features you get. Done. DC20, a la being able to buy different skills and trades and languages, you also get to buy ancestry traits. So you can make a whole lot of other combos that are unavailable to you in other systems. So, when you're building a half elf, it doesn't have to be a combination of a human and an elf. It could be a bugbear and an elf. I'm using bugbear a lot. It could be a a Goliath and a gnome. You could have all like infinite combinations, right? Maybe your granddaddy was a gnome, your grandma was a Goliath, and your other grandparents were elves. Guess what? Now you can buy all the things. Well, not all the things. You're limited to how many points you get to spend. And certain things are going to cost more than others, but you kind of can jigsaw puzzle what features and traits in your lineage, in your ancestry, that you get either boons or banes from, because there are going to be ancestry traits that are, I don't want to say negative leaning, but there may be debuffs for you. Yes, sad faces that then give you extra points to buy other cool things. So I can't remember what the numbers are, but just for sake of ease, we'll say you get 5 points to spend. If you decide as a halfling to go with a 3 as your movement speed instead of the 4 regular movement speed, if you spend a point there, you actually get an extra point that you can spend. So now you spend 1 there, but you get 2 points. So you actually have 6 points to spend and get another cool thing. So it's going to be really cool to see what sort of jigsaw puzzles people put together to get just the right character. Now, that system is not fully done being baked yet. It's still in the works. But because we're doing the one-shot, and because we said pretty please, and because Coach is amazing, he is letting us test out a couple of ancestries that are fully baked. So we didn't get to choose. We didn't do the buying system. Yeah. Right now, we're just going to be doing sort of the default of what he has, which, to be fair as well, for newer players or people who are coming to the system, if you're overwhelmed by the ancestry buy process, there will be sort of default builds. So you can say, I just want to be a wood elf.
Cool.
Boom. You can just choose that. You don't have to.
That was going to be one of my questions.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, because I had thoughts of like, if I'm not a min-maxer or point buyer, can I just
If you don't want to tinker, you can just buy the default. So for now, though, we got kind of defaults. We were able to sort of, I think a couple of you guys, I think Seth was able, and Evan, you guys were able to pick a couple of things.
Influence
what options we were given to start with. So actually, why don't we start then?
Paid them off.
Why don't you start, Evan? Because you and Seth are both in the what's considered right now the Beastborn category, but you were able to, from the Beastborn umbrella, we actually have 2 different species. We have the bugbear, which is you, and then for Seth, we have the sort of gorilla flavored character.
Right. Yeah. So Beastborn, and I guess we'll know more about this when it comes out. But the idea is that any kind of mashup between animal and humanoid kind of falls under the umbrella of Beastborn. Now, traditionally, a bugbear is in the goblin family, so I guess goblins are a kind of beast as well. So you get some of the traits that you get as a bugbear / Beastborn. Bugbear specifically, dark vision. I'm assuming 60 feet or whatever that in spaces that would be. One cool thing that I asked for, traditionally bugbears, their whole battle tactic is usually they like to surprise their victims rather than just go head on into a battle. They would rather lay a trap. So Coach gave me advantage on the first attack check in combat, which that's pretty amazing. Now, I don't know. I haven't spoken to him about this specifically. I don't know if that means like if I happen to win initiative and I'm the first to roll in combat, then I get advantage on that, or if it's just my first attack, wherever I land up at initiative, I always, for my first attack check, I always get advantage. Not sure. So I'll clarify that with him. Coach, if you want to chime in, great.
You
And
did
then the
say
last.
this much, that bugbears will have nothing to do with goblins.
Oh, great. Okay.
They're not
Oh,
goblin.
there you go. Interesting.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. And then lastly, he gave me this thing called long-limbed, which I guess bugbears do have kind of freaky, long, almost gorilla-like arms. And the feature is when you make an attack check with a melee weapon or an unarmed strike, then your reach is 1 space greater. So you don't have to be directly within 1 space or 5 feet. You can just reach across the aisle and throttle that mofo. Now, the next one. So Seth's character, Chad, is also a Beastborn, but he's kind of a gorilla humanoid mashup, and he's got all kinds of cool features. So he's got a climb speed that's equal to his movement speed, which is amazing. Most people don't have that. He's got what's called powerful build, which means he's considered a large-sized creature, but he can still only occupy 1 space.
Even more impressive that Tobias can lick his own elbow.
It's true. It's true. Here, I'll demonstrate.
And was taught to by a seagull. That really
right.
is.
Right. I know. He had a revelation.
Seth says noodle arms.
Hot
Get
dog.
those hot dog fingers.
I know.
I can reach it. I can reach it.
Okay, so the other thing that Seth's character Chad gets, he gets a choice. He can get +1 might because he's a big beefy boy, or what?
I don't know. It was just funny.
Yeah, he's a big beefy boy.
He's a big beefy boy.
I'm allowed to laugh.
Or he can. I encourage it. Or he can get this feature called Rush, which is once per combat. When he sees, he says once per combat when you use your movement towards an enemy, you can spend 1 action point to it says game. Does that mean gain?
Probably, yeah, gain. Sorry.
To gain temporary hit points equal to your prime score.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was that's like I'm not that smart, so that sounds complicated. I'll just take the +1 might. I'm out.
Heyo.
Bye.
Beefy boy.
So those are our Beastborns. Coach said there will be no bugbear in DC20. Those would easily be Beastborn, which goes back to what Fitz was saying about the infinite customizability of like you can make anything you want to make. Just figure out the umbrella it sits under, and you're good to go. Speaking of umbrellas that things are sitting under, I want to hear about our astral mech sitting under the construct.
Yeah. So, and I will preface, I did very specifically ask for something that will not be in the construct options. So sorry, y'all. I asked for something which Alan has called static jolt. So I can spend an AP to make a spell check against the physical defense of a target within 5 spaces. On a hit, the target takes 2 lightning damage. I wanted this because if we look at the example of all the Star Wars droids, they have a tendency to just sort of, jolt folks who get up in their business and then roll away. And I really wanted that from my little trash can. So, I did ask, and it was delivered, but do not expect to see this in the alpha ancestries when they come out, unless you homebrew it for yourself. Sorry, not sorry. I asked for a special flavor.
No,
and I got it.
here's
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just going to say, one of the best things about DC20 for me, and this is just me speaking, but I cannot imagine that the creator of DC20 would ever be against homebrewing this game because he's a homebrewer.
Yeah, he's a tinkerer. He's a born tinkerer.
So I'm just psyched about that. Yeah.
And it stands as a good example of like if you wanted to homebrew some stuff, like what's possible, right? So then for the things that are more than likely going to be sort of generic construct flavors, we have construct constitution. So our little R0 will be resistant to psychic and poison damage, which makes sense, particularly the poison one because how do you poison metal? And then also I'm immune to the bleeding condition because got no blood. I guess I could squirt out some oil, just like, but I don't actually have blood, so that's not going to do me any badness there. Yep. Then I have construct consciousness, so I don't sleep. Again, makes sense. And for people who watch Critical Role, this is sort of similar to what FCG's general existential crises are about. I just power down for 4 hours a day. There's no dreaming, but I'm aware of my surroundings, so I can notice approaching enemies. I also don't eat, drink, or breathe, and I'm immune to disease because I'm a rolling trash can.
Are
You're the carrier of disease.
I'm a carrier of disease. If I could get disease as a boardwalk trash can, I would have been dead long ago. And then because I'm playing a monk, this one is less necessary for me, but for other folks playing other classes, this could be interesting. You can, as a construct, don armor that you have mastery with, gaining its benefits, and incorporate it into your body, and it cannot be removed against your will. This process takes an hour and becomes a part of you until you repeat the same process. So basically, it's like you're making mods to your form and incorporating your armor as part of it. So I think monks do have proficiency in light armor, but that is going to negatively impact other things like your movement. So I have decided to go unarmored. If you're doing some sort of multi-class, or if you're choosing a construct with, say a barbarian, or no, maybe not a barbarian. Why'd I go there? But like a fighter or something that's going to require armor, then you could absorb and you could kind of make a little story about how you've absorbed certain types of armor and where it is on your body and how it makes you the robot you are.
Yeah.
We have a really important question from Seth that I think you're very much going to enjoy answering. Do you get anything for your 9 trash flaps?
Just extra pockets, I got lots of pockets now. I got so many trash flaps.
Oh my God.
I should
Nuggies
maybe
in this one, Nuggies in that one.
Yeah. I got Nuggies here. I've got this one's the actual trash flap. I've got a recycling area. I've got a compost area.
You're gonna smell great.
I'm gonna smell amazing. Get some Febreze.
Days. I'm sad that you're not a caster, because that would be great for your component.
That's true.
It would.
Areas. But
It would. But I did reflavor some things. Like I took throwing stars and I think the blowgun or something. So I've reflavored. Are there any pocket dimensions?
Yes!
See, I should get a bag of holding and line one of the trash areas with a bag of holding.
This is what we need. This is what we need.
Big brain time. I think maybe, for our Discord folks, after last week when we did the Mad Libs and we decided that R0 had 9 trash flaps, Cassie sent me back a new sketch of R0 with just a sign of where all the flaps are. So maybe for those in our Discord, after we release the official art, I will also release the flap art.
Wow.
That's OnlyFans.
That sounds dirty.
That's only flaps. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, Wolves has a really important question for us as well.
Boy.
If you don't breathe, how can you use a
blowgun? Oh. You know what? Okay, because
compressed air.
Compressed air. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good answer.
In fact, it's more COVID friendly because I don't actually breathe. I just have a little compressed air can that.
Wow.
My Drucifer is here, you guys.
I must say Drew's here. Drew doesn't exist. That's Cassie behind a different screen name.
Exactly. You can't fool us.
Oh God! Please throw Sarah's
thirst trap. Trash.
Amazing.
Oh, man.
And you get inspiration.
I don't want to. So after all of that, now I have to follow this up with my, like, as I've now been called out by Coach, my basic, my basic gnome. I'm the only one, and I chose gnome. I've just never played a gnome before. I tend to go like halflings and tieflings tend to be my bag, but now I'm wishing that I had been fun and saucy like all of my counterparts here. But you guys are all getting a very, very basic gnome, because what's interesting about this is I chose gnome not knowing anything about gnomes, and then when I talked to Coach about what he was going to give me for my ancestry, it all fits with a scion so well. So they're escape artists because their size is small, so they're really adept at like getting out of grapples and restraints, which I think is gonna be important. They have magnified vision on things that they're holding, so other ancestries can kind of take stuff in from far away. Anything I'm touching or holding, I have advantage on any investigation checks, which I think is going to come in clutch for our little caster. I feel like I'm out here all alone in a lot of ways. I'm the only caster. I'm the only basic background, but it's okay. I'm going to carry the banner proudly.
Hey, man. Pumpkin spice lattes are popular for
Yes, thank you.
Well, how are you basic if you're the unique one?
It's true. Exactly.
There you go.
All right. I like that. And then other things. So mental clarity. I have advantage on saves against being dazed or stunned, which I think is going to be very important for a scion. I asked Coach, did he do that for me, knowing I was playing a scion? And he's like, no, dude, that's a just straight gnome trait, which I loved. And I got to add +1 to my mental defense. So I'm hoping that Matt comes in clutch with some enemies that will try and wound not only our bodies, but also our minds. So that I have a fighting chance. Otherwise, I'm screwed. We did some playtesting, peek behind the curtain real quick. We did some playtesting this week just to, we're making sure that we understand the mechanics. And I maybe died, like not unconscious, like less than -3. Three times.
3 times you full dead. And then I just deaded. You full on deaded.
I deaded. So then, but because my party is the best party, they kept spending their action points to roll medicine checks and bring me back up to 1 hit point. So we're gonna get it together, though. It's hard for me to not run headlong into battle. That's my like roguish ways. Yeah. So, and I don't have a ton of range, so I've got cool things I can do, but I have to be within 5 to 10 spaces to do it. Also, Phoenix says not basic, psionic. Yeah, boy.
And you get inspiration.
And you get inspiration.
Well, I also feel like I need to give inspiration for Big Ben, because he's pointed out a very good possibility. Not that I want to be targeted by a heat metal spell, but I could be a dumpster fire.
You could be a literal dumpster fire. Oh, no.
Imagine the flames shooting out of all those trash flames.
God.
It'd be so metal.
We are excited about the ancestries that we have all picked. I cannot wait. I'm glad that we have 2 Beastborns, but flavored in very different ways. I think it's so interesting.
And it's such a good example of what the possibilities will be for in the way that the ancestry system is being built, that technically they're the same ancestry, but they are vastly different backgrounds, ancestry backgrounds.
And then shameless plug, we took our Mad Libs way too seriously and recorded them for y'all. It actually made like a produced piece of content. So if you want to get to know Benny, Chad, Tobias, and Robot ahead of the one-shot that will be coming out next week, by the way, go to our YouTube channel and watch that, because it's ridiculous and we loved it. And thanks to everybody who gave us good words. Made that happen. Flamethrower, dumpster fire.
I have so many ideas now. R0 has to be a campaign character, because I have mods I need to make on them.
It's Wolves with the Night says heat metal equals living weapon.
Oh, yes.
I mean, just imagine.
Purposefully.
Yeah. Especially as a monk. Imagine a dumpster fire with flames shooting out of 9 trash flaps just coming to body check.
Coach, we were not dealing with inventory for the battle practice. Yes, we absolutely will have first aid kits for medicine checks, but we were just trying to
keep
FAFO.
Keep it
moving. Yeah.
I had to unkill
Benny, Allison many times that day.
The joke here is that Matt is always like, I'm not trying to kill you, and somehow I keep not, specifically me.
But you always come back. I'm the
always
only
come
one who's
back.
ever perma-dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's very, very, very true.
Rocket can.
Oh man. Oh, Kai, this is what I want to do because I've already called that my next DC20 character will be a sorcerer, robot sorcerer, getting heated up when over. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm actually slightly
actually-
disappointed that nobody picked sorcerer when we polled for classes.
Yeah, this is y'all's fault.
Yes. I actually am very, very happy that the baseline medicine check does not heal because
Sadist.
You know what? Call me a sadist, but I want on our one shot. I want to have spell components, first aid kits.
Yes.
I want to have these things. I've been reading other TTRPGs. I know what I want a little gritty realism. Just a dash.
Mortal Bane says,
Dash.
Matt didn't kill you, I did. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mortal Bane, for the white
that
wormling
is true.
that did us in. That he did point out, like, his characters were playing at much higher levels than we're level 1, y'all.
I gotta find that balance. I definitely have to figure out
But
the
like
balance.
specifically his icon as well, like Mortal Bane, you having like
The heart with the yes, I love
I know.
like that right there is just
so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good. Wolf says spell components. Ew.
I know, but
You know,
it can be fun. Let's
it
make
can
it
be
fun.
I
Let's
have
make it
been
fun.
making a point now that I've gone from rogue bard to just bard in our Barovia campaign to make a bigger use out of the spell components, and it actually is fun to roleplay.
Yeah.
Imagine that, Caleb Widowgast. You were right.
He does it well. I think he's I will say crit roll. Quick aside here. He's maybe not my favorite player of the crew, but he is so good at being descriptive with spell components.
Yes.
With Orem and his fighting
And what
style.
he does, yeah.
Really
That's true.
thoughtful. I like that. So I'm all about that, brother. I think it can be it's an opportunity
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
players
Yeah, I'm down.
to
He
bring
also,
it.
though, we were talking about how to bring listening to your table, and Liam is a very good example of a player who listens.
Yes.
Mm,
Travis too.
fresh.
Yeah, he's my fave.
Well, now that we have gotten a sneak peek at our ancestries, which is pretty much like this is it, like we're ready to play these characters now. We've got our backstories, our ancestries, obviously our classes. But Matt, our illustrious GM, has been hard at work and wanted to kind of show off some of the stuff.
I did.
But first, hold on. Before you do that, we have to do this. How long can I leave it up there?
Yeah, and then I explode.
And
I
then
love
you
the little,
explode.
the explosion at the end.
That's kind of like what this has been this week. But okay, there's a ton of disclaimers before I show this off. But I really do believe in show your work. I believe in like showing the pre-alphas and also I believe in working to solve a problem, especially when you have a developer mind or a developer kind of concept. Anyway, we use a VTT. We use a virtual tabletop because not one of us lives in the same location. And while that makes us sad, sometimes it is the necessity and we make it work. So I have gotten to know virtual tabletops since we started playing D&D in 2020. And there are two main ones that I adore. One is called Encounter Plus that no one has heard of. Not one person seems to know Encounter Plus. It's incredible. It is Mac only, but iOS too. It's iOS and Mac only, which is probably part of the problem.
Really?
It runs perfectly on iOS. You can do everything on iPad. Yeah, it's the developer is phenomenal, one-man show. But so check it out. I've been building that, but I have not been able to build DC20 into Encounter Plus until recently, because the developer is currently in the beta of the 5th version of this this application, and he's given us all an ability to create our own system. It was 5e before that and nothing else. So I have been working on that, and that is fun for my own personal thing. But
and I will say, like, plug as the newest player and GM here.
Yeah.
I've dabbled in a bunch of the other ones, and Encounter Plus, it was like my winner by a million miles.
it's a perfect
so
balance
much more intuitive.
between Foundry, which is anything you can
Too
dream
crunchy.
of,
Yep.
to Owlbear Rodeo, which is super duper 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 simple. Encounter Plus is in that sweet spot of easy to get going, easy to learn, but
I love this. When you were talking about it's for Mac iOS only. Well, that's why, my dude. And we've encountered that in our even on our Discord, as people are asking for different solutions to things. We are a Mac fam.
Yeah, we are a Mac fam. That's okay. we are developers. So that and that has been a good way to do that. However, I've also loved Foundry VTT, which is a very, very popular virtual tabletop. It definitely is a lot more to get into it. Definitely is a lot more robust. It is very open. It's an open source. It's not open source, but there's a plugin system that you can add modules to, and therefore it is extremely extensible to all manner of people. From the get-go, you've been able to develop your own system and add it. And so, really, if you're playing any kind of TTRPG, chances are that Foundry already has a really robust version of that system for you. And so, if you want to get into that, hit me up. I can help you walk through. But in the case of DC20, of course, being an alpha and just being released this year, there is no such thing. So I wanted to solve a challenge, a problem, and that problem was, as a GM, these VTTs are extremely helpful to me. I do have ADHD. I have a lot going on. If math can be done behind the scenes a little bit, if some automations can happen, it's wonderful. So it is really a problem that I am solving rather than anything else. I'm not trying to take credit or do anything like that. But let's look over at my screen real quick, Alice. Let's take it to the
Let's take it to the screen.
Let's share it. Screen. Oh, am I still shared? Actually,
maybe
not.
I think you've got to reshare.
Okay.
Fitz,
Sorry.
by the way, had to hop off for a real quick second, and we'll hopefully be back. Otherwise, we're flying without our Fitzy for a minute.
Oh no!
She out. She got to go get them nuggies.
No.
Yeah, she had to go investigate her freezer. For bad nuggies.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, so what you see before you is the beautifully designed fillable PDF that you now have, thanks to Coach and team, and it works great. I did try to make a smart PDF at first, again because of the just to kind of know the math stuff, and that was actually far harder for me than just coding in Foundry VTT. I don't know why. And Encounter Plus. So this is Evan's. It's an earlier version of Evan's character, Tobias.
Old Toby.
Oh, Toby. But this was my basis. So here, and then this is what I am currently working on in Foundry.
This is not Toby's art.
This is not Toby's art, by the way.
Placeholder.
It's just a placeholder art. Cassie is in charge of that, I think. But
shameless plug. If you want to see our art, we're gonna debut it in our Discord this week ahead of next week's actual play. So hop in our Discord to check out our
please.
our art in a few days.
Yeah, and this is not finished yet, and it probably won't be completely finished. Well, it definitely won't be finished by the time we record the one shot. And therefore, send it out. But for me, so much of it is done. Like some of the stuff that I it's so good to do this kind of stuff for me because I learn the math, right? Like I learn what plus what equals what, and it's very easy to change as the rules change, right? So, but for me, this is going to be super helpful. I'm going to take our friend Mortal Bane's monster list, and I'm going to create a monster, an NPC and monster version of this. But here's some of the niceties of this. It doesn't look great either, but I'm working on that at the same time. So I can't wait to show off the final product for everybody. And it's also very shareable. So anybody that uses Foundry, if you just give me a little patience, I will keep working on this because it's incredibly fun for me. And I will be able to share every bit of it for free for anybody that uses Foundry. All right, so yes?
If I was going to say, if you're a player, like I'm interested in what other people are play for real. I'm interested in what people are using for their VTTs, or if you're literally shopping one. I know that there's some pushback on, but Foundry is for any system. It's Encounter Plus, that's Mac only.
Right.
So Foundry I know is a big one, but in the comments, if you're playing DC20, D&D, Pathfinder, or anything else, tell us your favorite VTT.
Yeah. Yes, please do, because chances are, if it's a little extensible, you can build things. Anyway, so I've got some organizing to do, but I started with these tabs, and this inventory tab is not filled out yet. But with attributes, I was very delighted in the fact that I could go.
Hot dog fingers.
Yeah, well,
you've got hot dog fingers and noodle arms in there. I
do. Those are our resources. But look, you can make changes to this sheet, and they will show up immediately. So let's take a look at awareness, for example. And Toby is a novice at Aware. He chose to put a point of novice in there. So if I change the prime score, I can't change the prime score. I can't. That's a bad example. How about athletics? Because that's might. If might was 1, you're going to, and you get off of there, you're going to see that it changes to 3. Wait, no, that's agility, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, it changes to 4 as the might goes up. And so I'll show you the horror show that it is to actually build this. There's a lot of like math jacks and stuff, but it's a really great system. Let me tell you the name for those of you interested. Custom System Builder Foundry. It is not a module, for those of you who know. It is an actual game system. So you download the game system, and it's just a neutral thing that you can build and use. But I'm very excited that I got this far before our game, because even like everybody's going to have these little action point trackers, 2, 3, 4, and then reset them every turn. The next step is to be able to. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna help so much. These, now that we have ancestries, I'm gonna be able to kind of. Well, I guess you will write those in, but there are drop downs. So examples of this, you have got like different abilities to pick the types of attacks and weapons, and I'm gonna have fun with inventory. I'm gonna be able to put in all of that stuff.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So with that specifically, so you assign the slashing weapon. And so in a VTT, say Toby attacks something and it's piercing damage.
Yes.
Does that interact with your monster on your side and automate any kind of damage attack? Say if it's resistant to piercing damage, or like it's connected. It's not just there because it looks cool.
I will be able to do that. I'm not quite there yet, but it is going to definitely be possible. You can see right now, let's see. You can see right now, this is a terrible example because it's spitting out the math. But I did have it so that when Toby actually resets, I think it tells me, I don't know why it says bones. It's math, it's code, but I just started this week, and I had to learn this whole thing. But yeah, it will give you both chat feedback, and it will give you, in fact, I think this actually should have resources. I think so. Let's see, always for owner. I think you can put health points in there, and you can, So I think this is real too. So as Toby weakens, you should be able to.
Toby's not going to weaken. Who are you talking about, fool?
Yeah. Sorry.
Toby.
Yeah, so I'm very psyched about this. I'm very very appreciative of the developer of this game system because obviously they've put in a freakish amount of work. I don't take any credit. I'm just a guy. If anybody wants to help me, also, if anybody like has some time and want to get their hands on this and knows it's not enormous amounts of code. It's like, I mean, I am a developer, so I do know what's happening, but I feel like it's not absolutely impossible to understand. So you've got like, the save DC is 8+ the combat mastery number, and so that is found. Where did I put it? That is found somewhere, wherever I put it, and then right here, and then so it's just math, right? And it's this system called Math Jacks. So there's a lot of stuff. Anyway, if anybody is interested in getting on that, I think it could really, for those who have to play with a VTT or want to, and want to have a little more automation and want to think about that stuff, join us, please. Have some fun. Let's have some fun.
We're getting some live feedback here. Everybody thinks it's super cool. Debilzian says, Matt, in the skill section, can you add in parentheses the corresponding attributes like athletics is tied to might? That could be fun.
Actually,
yeah.
That was that. Thank you for saying that. I was going to actually. As you saw live, that would have been really convenient for me to do because currently, I mean, I know that you can choose prime to be a lower number than it should because we saw Fitz do that in one of the plays. I don't know why anybody would do it. I automated it, but you don't have to. You could make prime
a chaos gremlin.
You could make a chaos gremlin and have a lower prime for no reason. Absolutely can do that. I could have at the very least like a little title section to show.
Yeah, that's that's what I was thinking.
The toughest thing about this is, it's not going to be the ease and design of. I'm going to get it as lovely as I can, and it does allow you to use CSS, which is magical, which I'm psyched about. That's how I was able to do the action point. Buttons, background images, but it's not going to function exactly like this lovely sheet, right? So we're going to make the do with what we got. I think it's still going to help people. And yes, that is a great feedback. I will definitely add these titles to correspond.
So Big Ben MacDeuce says DC20 Beyond. We're here for it. We're here to build it. Let's go.
Yes.
Kai says, dang, Matt, that's cool. We agree.
Thanks, Kai.
Every little thing you do is
everybody.
magic. Mortal Bane says, well done, Matt.
Thank you.
Wolves says, awesome job. DC20 is, our dungeon coach is in on this. Oh, and does say, gross, Evan. So dungeon coach says, make sure y'all get the updates for Ranger and Monk for me if you want to play the 0.5 versions.
Wee.
And Evan said, yes, daddy want. I'm going to make all of you look at this too. Gross.
No.
Natural.
No.
Yes, it's natural.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Maddie, this is like I always am in awe of getting to kind of look in here and see what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
This is my fun. This is my fun time, y'all. This is my Tinker time, fun time. And so yes, anybody listen. We have. I mean, the coach has the coolest Discord channel. Foundry VTT has the best Discord channel. We have the best Discord server as well. So please come and join us in Discord. Talk to me. I'm there all the time. Find me. I had a great discussion with Mortal Ben yesterday about their monsters, which I cannot wait to implement this weekend. So yeah, please, this is a community, y'all. This is exactly what we want. And we're all working together, and there's no like, except for Coach, this is his game. We're all just psyched. And these are the things that we do to get super psyched. So please come hang out and let's talk about VTTs. together.
Yes. Well, this was fun. Yeah, this time next week, hopefully many of you here today will be watching the actual play of DC20. That's wild.
Please
That's
do. Yeah, I know.
Buck
Oh my gosh,
wild.
we got work
it's
to do.
wild.
Our plan, just so everybody is aware, we're going to play it during this time. We will be in the comments chatting with you. So we will be watching you watch all of our shenanigans, whatever they may be.
We thought that was probably best and easier to just kind of record and then, just cuz,
Tabletop Phoenix, the pocket dimension is my home.
Oh my gosh. We are your home. We are your
Welcome.
home. Yes.
Welcome. Unlimited nuggies for you.
The bot known as Drew says, new question.
My Canadian friend.
We love you, Drew. Thanks for letting
Canadian
us.
friend.
What is live streams? Every Friday, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, 10:30 Mountain, 9:30 Pacific. I'm just going to try and cover all of the time zones I can.
You're good at that.
Thank you. We're here every Friday. We may not be here the day after Thanksgiving. We haven't talked about that yet. But maybe we will be. I don't know. Yeah, we're here. We love. We've loved the way that the DC20 community has folded us in. We love that our friends that we've met in other places have come along for the ride. It's so fun. This is so fun.
Yeah. It's so great. You guys are the best. All of you. It's just a constant inspiration loop, right? Like it's constant, I don't know. It's just it's everything we dream of, right?
Yep.
As people, we're all doing it. So
amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. Cassie and Mortal Bane and everybody that has helped us, and continues to help and do things and
we actually don't, Coach. I don't know if I saw Coach later yelled at us a minute ago. I don't know. I don't know that Coach knows the exact date that he's planning. So for those of you who don't know, who you should go follow the Dungeon Coach. He's amazing and the reason behind this game and everything fun that we're doing lately. And he has got a live play that he filmed this week. It's got one-shot questers, Trent Monk, Dungeon Layer Liam, and Bob World Builder, and then Dungeon Coach as the GM.
Which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but we played with Luke from DM
Luke,
Layer
not Liam.
back
He's a
in
great
March.
player.
That was
He's a
incredible.
great player.
He was
So fun.
great. He played a barbarian who was just out of control.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great. So I don't know that Coach knows yet, but we will probably be within about a week of each other. Actual play for everybody. I can't wait to tune into that. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Well.
Well.
Well, Pocket Pals, it's been great.
Pals. It has
I'll
been.
see you in another dimension on another day.
Hey, it does actually help us. I know this is so weird and so uncomfortable, but it is shocking how much it helps if y'all subscribe and say like to that. It's such a cliche. It's gonna be that thing that people in 10 years just make fun of endlessly. But
Like and subscribe below in every video.
Smash that button and ring the bell. But it really.
It's important for the algorithm,
I know.
It matters.
Until we hack the algorithm, we have to make you work. That just feels weird, but it's the way it is. So thank you.
Is that an option? Just hacking the algorithm? We've been going about this the long way the whole time?
Not for me anyway. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on.
All right.
Anyways.
Well, we hope to see y'all in our gorgeous little Discord server. I will see and play D&D 5e with many of you this weekend, and I cannot wait for that. Yes. Sarah and Cassie and Mortal and Phoenix and Matt and Evan and Fitz.
And hop into our DC20 channel on our Discord if you guys want to go ahead and start a death poll, and we can next week see which of the characters will be Audi 5000. We'll all find out together.
A death poll.
I love a
A
Deadpool.
Deadpool. A Deadpool.
A Deadpool.
Oh my god, a Deadpool. I love it.
Wow.
I love it. Oh my
Amazing.
gosh.
I mean,
Benny,
it's gonna
Benny
happen.
first. Wow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Nobody has any faith on me. I'm going to do everything I can to make that not be so, but yeah, it's probably true. Me and my 7 hit points and physical defense of 9. Like,
Bless your heart.
All right. Come with your thoughts and prayers next week, folks.
Yeah. This has been a really fun one. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Yeah. Barbarian and Wolves and Phoenix and Sarah and Cassie and Dialbilzian.
Beelzebub.
Day Belzian.
Thank you, Kai and just all of y'all. Just Drew.
Drewbot.
Drewbot.
So sorry.
Drewbot. All right,
Jim.
y'all.
Yeah. Welcome, Jim. Bye, guys.
Pocket Dimension. Ouch!